Welcome back into American Agenda. Stunning images on your screen right now. That is a passenger jet, a Delta Airlines flight that was traveling from Minneapolis, Minnesota to Toronto and then crashed on the runway. Prime Minister in Canada, Justin Trudeau, says at least 8 people have been injured. Somehow, Katrina, the plane wound up flipping over entirely. Pretty scary.
Yeah, terrifying. And also what is amazing to me is that some people who were on that plane actually getting out with their luggage. That is obviously good news there to be able to walk
Some
away.
of them right there in that video,
like that.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, and joining us now, correspondent Michael Charbonne, who is in Canada. Michael, I see you've moved inside where it is warm, but we appreciate you showing us all the snow that you've received there in Canada. What have you learned since we last spoke?
So this is a commuter jet flight 4819 from Delta from Minneapolis that was flying into Pearson International Airport, which is our largest airport in Canada. 5 runways that we have leading into our airport. All flights are suspended at this point. The airport is shut down. This plane was landing and supposedly got a wind gust and flipped it over on its side. It has a potential for 80 passengers, or there were 80 passengers. There are no fatalities. That's what we're happy to report. Paramedics in the region had said that there's 8 people that could potentially be injured and have been taken to a medical facility. But at this point, there's no fatalities. So as you said, Katrina, you look at those images and what we've seen in North America in the last little while, this is very traumatic. But the reason why I went outside previously was to show you how brutally cold it is, how the winds are so strong. And of course, you put winds, you have cold, you have ice. I mean, situations like this can happen. But thankfully, it looks like we have no fatalities. It's just a very traumatic situation. And currently, the Canada's largest airport is shut down.
Michael, let me ask you this. Do you know if the plane had landed on the runway and then was coming to a stop, then flipped over, or if it just happened as soon as it touched down? Because I'm trying to visualize, and obviously I've been on a plane before. We all have.
You're thinking if you're on the plane and
like, how does that happen? Then all of a sudden you're at the runway and you're trying to get to the gate here, and then a wind gust comes and then flips the plane over. Do you know any details, like the sequence of events here?
Supposedly one of the wings was broken off. So at this point, one can't speculate. I have not heard definitively. I've been looking through some of my contacts at the international airport, but it would seem quite something to have a wing flip off when 2 wheels have hit the runway. So one could speculate that if it's coming down and hits a wind shear, and then what the wind shear would do would make it move like that. But either way, the most important thing here is that we don't have any fatalities. And I mean, that's thank God again to all our responders. And in a situation like that, when the plane's upside down, thank goodness you're wearing your seatbelt.
So, obviously, we're looking at these pictures, digesting them right now in real time here. It does, to your point, Mike, it looks like one of the wings has blown off the plane, or it came detached at some point in time. Thank God nobody has been announced that has died yet, so we don't know the extent of the injuries just at this point. So the plane lands, comes in, giant gust of wind is what you're being told by your contacts. Then it flips over, and I guess everybody on board, had to brace for impact there. Anything else you can tell us about bringing us up to...
They also sprayed the runway. Don't forget, you have, depending on how much fuel is on board, how long was the flight, how heavy was the flight. A flight that's very heavy, of course, uses more fuel. Less people on the plane, less fuel. So they had the fuel retardant emergency team there, as you can see. But the traumatic thing is a wing flipping off. So that's one heck of a wind shear, if one would say. And again, we only have 5 runways coming into Pearson International. Everything is suspended, but we don't have any fire. At this point, there's no report of fatalities, and I think it just goes to the testament of watching those things when you get on the plane. I know we all fly a lot, and we all kind of go, I don't want to watch that thing. Where are your exits? Where are the lights? And what happens if you turn upside down? So, I mean, that all gives us heed.
Yeah, it makes you wonder that if there are extreme wind gusts like this, should they have been allowed to land or should they have stayed up in the air for a little while? Who knows? We'll find out, I guess, in time. Michael Charbonne, we appreciate it.